Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, Netherlands. Today we are taking a look at a very cool brand new Fender model from actually a brand new line, which has been out for a couple of weeks now by the time of filming, but have not really gotten to making a proper demo of this very cool one. Next up in line, taking a look at a Jazzmaster from the Vintera 3 line. So this is a Fender Vintera 3 mid-60s Jazzmaster in a stunning candy apple red finish with a matching headstock. So the Vintera 3 line has been out for a couple of weeks now, like I said. Obviously it is the third version of the Vintera line, which is a very popular vintage inspired line made by Fender in Mexico. Obviously there have been two previous generations, so you had the original Vintera line, which was first introduced in I believe the early 2010s, and like 2011, 2012-ish. Then the Vintera 3 was released actually not too long ago, like 2.5 years ago. And so now we have got the Vintera 3 line. And yeah, what this line is all about is that it is very much like vintage inspired. So it has all of the right specs. It has all of the right looks, but they are made in Ensenada, so in Mexico, so keeping the price relatively low as compared to their US counterparts. And so what's really cool about the Vintera 3 is that they are even more accurate, if you will. So, and they are also not going by the decades anymore, but they are also going, they're kind of like narrowing it down. So they are like splitting the decades up in like 2 or 3 pieces. So you also then got the mid 1960s or mid 1950s. I'm not sure if there's a mid 1950s, but you get the deal. So they are more so like specific to certain years in musical history, so like Fender history, obviously also then based on some very iconic years at that. So this is then the mid 1960s Jazzmaster. So yeah, let's then dive into the specs of this very cool model. It also comes in 2 different finishes, I believe, and those are Olympic White and Sonic Blue. But the candy apple red is very striking, very beautiful in person, and that matching headstock is just oh so cool. So this is then again based on a 1960s or mid 1960s Jazzmaster, so it has all those types of specs. So first off, obviously we've got an offset body, which is what the Jazzmaster is known for, along with the Fender Jaguar. So this very iconic body shape, also very comfortable while seated, also looks super cool. And this body is made out of alder. So underneath this solid candy apple red finish, we've got some alder wood, which is also very much accurate to what they would also use in the mid 1960s. We have then got all of the classic Jazzmaster type of features and specs when it comes to the layout and such. So first off, we've got some really nice Jazzmaster pickups. These are not P90s, don't be confused. These are actually like their own thing, because P90s are rather tall, so like the coil around the magnets or around the pole pieces, they're like, yeah, they kind of like go upwards, so they're quite tall, whereas in the Jazzmaster they're very flat. So if you remove this Jazzmaster pickup, you see that the entire pickup is quite flat as compared to a P90, which makes for a different sound and a different tone. To be more specific, these pickups, they are calling them the vintage style mid-60s single coil Jazzmaster pickups. So yeah, really rolls off the tongue, but what I can tell you is that they sound really great, and they sound very much like as they should. So very much classic Jazzmaster tones right there. We have then got the tremolo / vibrato system that you also find on a Jaguar, with kind of like this rocking bridge with the knurled saddles. And put your arm in here, got a lock right here. If you don't use the trem, then tuning becomes a little bit more stable. Moving on to the controls, so there are, that is where the Jazzmaster is quite unique. First off, let's talk about the normal control. So this is pretty straightforward. Got a 3-way pickup selector switch for your 2 Jazzmaster pickups, so bridge, both, and your neck, and then a master volume and a master tone control. Output jack over here on the front as well, on obviously this very cool looking mint green guard. But then this is an entirely different circuit. This is called the dark circuit or the rhythm circuit. So what this then does, first you have to activate it by flicking this switch right here upwards. Then these are out of the circuit. So this side of the guard is no longer playing along, if you will. So now you've got these two wheel potentiometers, and what this then does is this only activates the neck pickup, so only the neck pickup is on. The bridge pickup is also completely out of the circuit right now, and it sounds especially dark. So this right here is a volume control and this is a tone control, but how this then differs from like having your neck pickup activated during this circuit is that this has like a dark cap on it, or like a low pass filter, I think, or high pass filter. So making it especially good for like rhythm, maybe for like bass lines as well. Just kind of gives you just an extra flavor that you normally do not get without this wiring circuit. So that's very cool, and what these also came with even way back in the late 1950s when the Jazzmaster was first put into production. Moving on to the neck, maple neck with a rosewood board. This is a, let's see, this is a laminated rosewood fingerboard. So yeah, I don't know if I should mention it, but the Pau Ferro days are long behind us by now. So yeah, we've got the real deal rosewood, which just looks and feels so much more right, especially feel, because yeah, there's definitely like a difference between Pau Ferro and rosewood when it comes to the playing feel. So this is yeah, just really nice feeling. Like I said, rosewood board with your clay dot inlays, which is also very much accurate to the mid 1960s. And then we've also got a, when it comes to the profile, let me check, that is a mid 60s C shape. I would say very medium, does resemble kind of like the modern C that you also see on like the Player 2 series, for example, but maybe a little bit more slim, but like only by a hair. So overall it just feels really nice and really nicely rounded, plays really well, very much an accessible neck profile, like not too big, not too thin. Most people would be just perfectly fine playing this very nice neck. Got the real bone nuts, so that's also very nice to see. They have also, yeah, that's also like a change from the Vintera 2 and the Vintera 1 line, that during those years they used, I think, synthetic bone, which nothing wrong with that, but like it's not the real deal. So yeah, to see real bone on here is actually a big plus if you ask me. Also really nicely cut, and then obviously your matching headstock with your Fender Jazzmaster decal right there, as well as your string tree. And what's also kind of like a cool touch, cool detail, is that the decal is now applied on top of the finish, which is also different from the previous generations. This is apparently more accurate, but if you then hold that in the light, you can see that there's like a little bit, let's see if I can get that again, you can see like a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a ridge. That just, yeah, that is because the decal is on top of the finish. I hope that it holds up, because I personally have purchased a Vintera 3 Stratocaster in the late 60s, and it also has that style of a decal. So hopefully, like also if you're used to using clip-on tuners, hopefully this will hold up, but only time will tell. And then on the back we've got your vintage style, Clusen style Fender tuners. I think that they are Fender embossed. Yeah, they are Fender branded indeed. That work and look really great, very much old school obviously. Last thing to mention, also comes with a very sweet gig bag. Nice and sturdy, nothing wrong with that. Maybe would have liked seeing a hard shell case, but this is also fine as is. Especially like here in the Netherlands, a gig bag is like more practical because we bike all around pretty much. But yeah, that is obviously also nice to have that included. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that there is to mention of this very fine Jazzmaster from the brand new Vintera 3 line. Really cool guitar, looks killer. That candy apple red with that matching headstock, that just looks so cool. And it also plays really fantastic. Just a very cool classic Jazzmaster. Like, it has pretty much everything that you could ask for from like a mid 1960s style Jazzmaster. All of the right specs. Probably the only difference, or the only thing that you could possibly ask for, is maybe like a nitro finish, but this is fine as well. Like, this feels really great. Plays and yeah, just sounds fantastic. So I think that you're really not missing out with this really high quality polyurethane finish. Like, even on the Fender USA models nowadays, oftentimes they also use polyurethane, and I think that there's also a big reason for that, is that it is a lot more durable. So yeah, to then have that on this guitar as well, don't fret it. It is just perfectly fine, plays really great as is, and yeah, just a really fantastic mid-1960s Fender Jazzmaster. So let's hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this Fender Vintera 3 mid-1960s Jazzmaster in a stunning candy apple red finish, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of very cool brand new models from a Fender like this, or used, vintage, electrics, acoustics, bass guitars, even all that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on the socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this Fender Vintera 3 mid-1960s Jazzmaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through this late 1960s Fender Pro Reverb. So let's move on to that part, and let's then take this really fine mid-1960s Jazzmaster from the brand new Vintera 3 line for a spin.